Breaking developments at a controversial ICE detention facility in Newark, New Jersey, where protesters have gathered for days, showing solidarity with inmates who they say have organized a hunger strike to protest the conditions inside this facility, including, they allege, poor medical care and food. DHS has denied the allegations, saying in part, quote, all detainees are provided with 3 meals a day, clean water, clothing, bedding, showers, soap, and toiletries. Joining us now is New Jersey Congressman Rob Menendez, who was just inside that facility. Congressman, I know you fought to be able to do this oversight visit. You showed up yesterday, were denied, but you made it inside. What did you see?
Yeah, so thanks so much for having us. Listen, the conditions continue to plague this facility, whether it's the health care treatment of individuals in there, whether it's the food that they're eating, the lack of ventilation. It's all an issue. It all continues to be an issue. But at the end of the day, the message that everyone inside has wanted us to make clear to everyone watching is that these are individuals who have no criminal records. These are mothers, fathers, people who are married to U.S. citizens, people who have U.S. citizen children. I've even had a pastor who's been here. So these are not the people that Trump talked about in 2024. These are people that should not be inside this facility. These are people that should be back home with their families, back in their communities as they navigate their immigration process.
I know you've been speaking with family members who are outside the facility. You were inside. Did you speak with any of the detainees themselves? What stories can you share?
Yeah, so every time that we're here, we use it as an opportunity to talk with the individuals who are being held here because it's important to tell their stories. Like an 18-year-old from New Jersey who's missing her high school graduation because she's inside the Delaney Hall. She's missing her brother's 8th birthday this week because she's inside Delaney Hall. Women who are pregnant who are inside Delaney Hall. Women who had just given birth months before they were apprehended by ICE, who aren't able to nurse their newborn children because they are inside Delaney Hall. That is who the Trump administration is holding inside this facility. That is who continues to be treated in such an inhumane way, and why we're going to continue to fight for this facility to close and for all these individuals to be released back to their families, to their communities.
The DHS Secretary, Markwayne Mullin, says there's no hunger strike happening there at Delaney Hall. He says there aren't subprime conditions. He called the demonstrations a political stunt by New Jersey politicians for fundraising. How do you respond to that?
Listen, I welcome him to come here and have these conversations himself. But him and all 3 of the Republicans from New Jersey's delegation have refused to come here because they don't want to face the truth and look these individuals in the eyes, as I have for a dozen times since I started coming here a year ago. I've been here 5 times in the last week. I can't even keep count. But they don't want to acknowledge what's happening here because it runs counter to what this administration has been selling to the American people. So I disagree with the secretary. If he would like to come here, I would be happy to walk inside with him and introduce him to all of these people who have contributed to our communities, who are good people and would be and should have their dignity preserved, something this administration's not doing. But I can guarantee you this is not political theater, and they want to focus on what's happening outside the facility with these peaceful protesters because they don't want people to focus on what's happening inside.
Back to what's happening inside. Is there evidence of a hunger strike happening?
There absolutely is, and ICE is using a technicality to say there's not. Under ICE guidance, a hunger strike is when you've missed 9 consecutive meals, basically over 3 days. They are using that definition to say there's not a hunger strike, but there are certainly people inside the facility who are not eating as part of a hunger strike. Whether they've hit the 9th meal or not is the only reason ICE is saying that there's not a hunger strike, but there certainly is, and people are going to continue to protest the inhumane conditions that exist inside.
You were denied access initially, so you had to give some warning. This is a privately run facility. How is oversight supposed to work?
So under the law, 527, we are supposed to be able to go into these facilities on an unannounced basis at any time. The unannounced part is critically important so they can't prepare and try to change the conditions or this facade around the conditions, and that we can see the facility at any given moment or see anyone inside the facility at any given moment. So I came here on Sunday night about 8:15 because I was concerned about one of our constituents, Martin Soto. His wife is 4 months pregnant. She was concerned about his well-being. They had tried to transfer him out of the facility that afternoon. And so I went to go see him. I promised his wife that I wouldn't leave until I was able to connect with him. 18 hours later, I finally was when I got to see him at a different facility here in New Jersey, the Elizabeth Detention Center.
Congressman Rob Menendez, we appreciate your passion and your perspective. Thanks so much for making time for us. Joining us again live from Delaney Hall.